Hello, I thought I would show you how to make this brilliant gift bag. Perfect for Father's Day. Nice substantial size, so you can add a gift of your choice. But the closure I'm really pleased with. So just by undoing the collar, the bag opens and there's your closure. So you haven't got to worry about anything falling out, and you just tuck it straight back inside. So let me show you how this is made. This is made just with one sheet of A3 cardstock. I'm using some textured cardstock here today. So let's start off with the scoring. I'm going to start in centimetres, so we'll do this in centimetres. So we're going on the long side. So when you look at a piece of card, you've got, obviously that's longer than this, so this is classed as short side, this is classed as long side because this side is longer than that. So for anybody new out there, that's how I class long and short side. But we're going to score to start with actually on the short side. So we're going to do a score at 6 centimetres. So we're going to go all the way down, and if your scoreboard isn't long enough, just flip it over and score the end on the other side. So you're going to do that to start with. Now we've made that 6 centimetre score here, we're going to score on this long side, but we're only going up to this score line. So you're going to do a score at 6 centimetres, 19.5 centimetres, 25.5 centimetres, and then I'm going to just flip this over and I'm going to do a score at 3 centimetres. Okay, so that's that bottom part. Now we're going to look at the top part. So we're going to start with where we had that piece that was in at 6 centimetres. You're going to score on this side first. So you're going to do a score at 3 centimetres all the way down, at 22.5 centimetres to the score line only. Okay, that's all our scoring done there. So let's just move our board out the way for the moment and we'll do some burnishing. So we're going to burnish these, but remember some of these score lines don't go all the way down. So just be mindful of that when you start off. So let's just burnish these over. A nice crisp line on these, and I'm going to cut away this little piece here at the end. So we'll cut that away. So we're going to go straight up and straight there along the bottom. So you're taking that out the way. You've got a square here in the middle, so on this side you're going to go straight up, and then you're going to do a wedge on the little piece that you've got in the middle, little square in the middle. So the same as you would if you were making a box. So we just pull those out, so you've got those straight, but then you've got that wedge shape in the middle. And we'll do the same with this one as well. And up that way. Okay, so that's that bit done. And then we'll just give these a little burnish very carefully. Now we need to make a mark so we know the next part we're going to do. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is to glue this so it joins on to this part because it will make life a lot easier. So I'm going to take my glue. I've got a hair there in the way. Let me move that out of the way. So using your glue. So I'm going to go close to the edge, but not over. Okay. And then we're going to just fold this over and they will join together. So that is going to make the main part of your bag and give that a nice good burnish down on both sides. Okay, let's get that burnished down. Now the next thing I want you to do is we're going to do some pencil markings. So I'm just going to bring a ruler in and a pencil. So I'm going to come down at 3 centimetres and I'm just going to do a pencil mark there. So I bring that down there at 3 centimetres and we're going to come in at 6 centimetres. So you've got your 3 centimetre mark. Let me try and hold that square for you. I've got my 2 markings of 3 centimetres. So I've got my ruler up nice and tight with those. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just make a little dot there at 6 centimetres. And I'm going to turn this round and do exactly the same here on the reverse. So 6 centimetres, and then I'm going to come down again 3 centimetres. Sure, that's 3 centimetres. Let me just double check. Yeah, 3 centimetres. So we'll come down another 3 and do a little mark just there, and we'll do the same on this side here, because what we're going to do, in fact I'll draw a pencil line so you can actually see what I'm going to do. We're going to cut from the 3 centimetre into the 6 centimetre on both of those sides, and then we're going to do a diagonal from the 3 centimetre to the point on both of those sides as well. So we're going to cut that part away. So you could go in with your trimmer, you can go in with a pair of scissors, whatever suits you. I'm just going to go in with a pair of scissors because I'm going through 2 lots of cardstock, and then where I've joined the bag, it's actually 3 lots. So you're having that going on. We're cutting that part away on both sides. So just make yourself the pencil markings and do yourself a pencil line. You can always rub that out as well. Okay. Didn't go right into that end. There we go. That's that. Now this is the stage where you can colour your texture card if you wish. I'm going to go on and colour mine. So I'm taking I've got a Distress Oxide here. I'm going to go in with Faded Jeans. I'm giving my gentleman a nice blue shirt. Now you could give him any colour shirt you like, choice is yours. So this is the white collar part. You want to keep this white as well. So let me just hold that over there, and I'm just going to rub my pad down the texture. Okay, just giving it that texture because we've got the texture on the card, so all I'm doing is inking the colour on. So I'm making my textured card from a white to a different colour. which is perfect. And you're going to do the same on both sides, because this is like a 3D project, if you like. It's a 3D card. So we just rub that over again. As I said, you could do these any colour you like. If you've got a dad or a granddad that likes a particular colour, you can choose which one you want to do. Okay, so that's that part done. Alright, so we'll just let that go to one side to dry while we look at the tie. So we're going to make the tie that's going to go on the top. So to start with, you need to just cut out of some scraps a little square that's 3 centimetres by 3 centimetres. Then we're going to create this tie, okay, with that lovely texture on there. So I've taken myself a piece of cardstock, and this is measuring, let me just bring it in here, 5 centimetres by 18.5 centimetres. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to pop my little sort of diamond, if you like, the extra bit we cut. I'm just going to pop that onto the top, and again I will go in with my pencil so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm just going to do a diagonal line there. So that's going to give us our first snip. So just cut that diagonal, okay, and that should be in the same spot, and if it's not, just tidy that up. And that doesn't look like it is, so let's just tidy that up and bring that across there. Okay, and then you're going to find your center point down here. So find the center point of your measurement, okay, just as a center. So I've got 2.5 as a center, and the guide is how you want to come up. 3 centimeters might work. Let's have a quick look. Yes, I think 3 centimeters will work fine. So we'll just do a couple of lines there, because what you're going to do is we're going to create our tie. So we're going to do across and across. I'm doing it in pencil so you can see. Normally I just do it with my embossing tool. And then I'm going to take the line from that point. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to just bring it up to create a tie shape. Don't be too overly too precious with it, but can you see we're giving it a tie looking shape? All right, and then we're going to cut that out. Now if you want to do a bow tie, you could get one of your bow making dies, do a bow tie if you wish. The choice is yours. Okay, but I just thought let's have a proper little tie. Okay, so it's looking sort of quite naive as a tie, but it will work because that's it. Let's just straighten that up a little bit. That doesn't look very good, Dawn. So just until you're happy with how that is looking, that's fine. So let's move, we need that piece. Let's move these scraps out of the way, and we will do the next part. So you're going to bring your scoreboard in again. I'm going to bring a small one in for ease. I'm going to do some scoring. So I've got my texture card. I'm going to score on the opposite side. So I'm scoring on the plain side of the card. Okay. So I'm going to just score. So I'm scoring. I've got my black line in my scoreboard, which is going to help me. So I've scored. And I'm going to go 1, 2 and score again. 1, 2 and score again. The choice is yours. Okay, 1, 2, score again. 1, 2, ooh, it moved. And score again. Up, down we go again. And then do, now we don't want it squares, but I will on this bit. This will work on this bit. So again, do the same. So 1, 2, score. In fact, I'm going to turn it around that way so I don't move it this time. So you've got that lovely pattern going on, like a check. And we're going to do the same on this as well. So I'm wanting this to an angle. So you could butt it up like that on the side of your scoreboard. That might work quite nicely. So let's do that. So we're going to go in and we're going to do a score, 1, 2, score, 1, 2, ooh, score. It's very hard doing it at an angle, but it gives a lovely result. So just bear with it. Keep going. The thing is, try not to let it slip, but now because I've butt it up there, I know I should be okay. Oh, that didn't go right up there. 1, 2, score. 1, 2, score. It's like a dance, isn't it? It's just so you've got that even spacing. Now you could keep it like that if you wanted to do just a stripe tie. Okay, that's another option you could do. In fact, let me do this one as a stripe tie, just to show you a difference. But if you wanted to do what I've done here as the check tie, you're just going to go and do it exactly the same again. So whereas I scored that way, you're going to put it that side and do your scores again. Okay, so now let's ink these up. So I think I'm going to come in with a bit of a lighter blue this time. Let me try that one out. I think that's a bit too light. Oh, that one looks quite nice. Let's go in with this one. So just again, inking over the top. Okay. And you're going to do the same with this. I'm just rubbing it across the top. Okay, gives that nice effect. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of green as well, just to add a little bit of a two-tone checked look. But even though this one we're going stripe, it doesn't matter. It gives a little bit of difference to your project. So I think it looks quite nice for Father's Day. So we'll pop that to one side because I've used oxide. That'll just take a minute to dry. Let me wipe my desk up while we finish putting our box together. There we go. So we've got our nice bag or box going on. So what you're going to do now is you're going to join this up, and if you slide one inside the other, I haven't done any scoring as yet, just slide it inside. Once you've got it in, you're fine. When you've got it in, try and butt it up so it's square in that element, that piece there. And then I'm going to look at it like this as a tie. And then you're going to hold that down and then just push these down with your finger. And then if you get your bone folder and give them then a burnish, you've got your natural closure going on, no problem at all. Okay, so that's your natural closure. So let's now join our box together. So that's going to be the front, so that's going to be my last piece that goes down. So I'm going to make this look nice and professional. So you're going to put your big, let's open this out, your big piece in the bottom. That's it. That big piece there in the bottom, and then these are going to go at the sides. So let's pop some glue onto these. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same around this side. Alright, put my hand in just to hold that in square. Okay, and then I'm going to just turn it on its bottom and pop my hand inside. That's it. And that one is because we've got we're going from having no sides to having a square bottom. Just take your time with that, and I'm just going to stand up and try and burnish from inside the bag. So I've got those two elements nicely stuck down. Okay, so that's stuck down like that, and then you're going to bring your last piece over to the top. So glue on here as well. So flap that over, and again pop it back down on your desk. Go in with your bone folder and give that a good burnish down. Okay. So I'm happy with how that's looking. I would normally leave it a little bit longer to dry. So we'll fold this over and pop our little square on. So that just goes on the top there. So if you were doing a bow tie, you'd do it there. And then this piece is going to go on. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the top. I'm not going to put it all the way down. So I'm just going to slide it under there. So I know I've got it exactly where I want it to be. Let me just look at that. Should have moved it, left it back where it was. It was fine in the first place, Dawn. You shouldn't have moved it. There you go. I'm going to open it up because I've pushed it up a bit further than I wanted, so I'll have to snip that piece off quickly. Because I don't want that showing. That's fine. Let's neaten that up a little bit, Dawn. There we go. So there we go. That's going to fold over that way. So there is your little gift box for Father's Day. You can choose whatever colours you want to decorate them in, but with that lovely closure, perfect for putting a gift in. Ready for Father's Day, for a male gift to give. So just something a little bit different with one sheet of A3 cardstock. Bye for now.